Welcome, wherever you are right now, however you are lying or sitting or resting, you are exactly where you need to be. Tonight, we are going to take a gentle journey together. Not a journey across any great distance, but a journey inward. A journey into something you do every single night, without even thinking about it. You dream. Every night while your body rests and your eyes are closed to the world, your mind quietly opens a door to somewhere else entirely. To places that do not exist. To people you may never have met. To feelings both strange and achingly familiar. And for thousands of years, human beings have looked up at the night sky, or stared at the ceiling in the dark, and wondered, why? Why do we dream? What is happening inside our minds when we dream? And what, if anything, do our dreams mean? Tonight, we will explore these questions together. Not with urgency, not with bright lights and loud answers, but softly, slowly, one idea at a time. So let yourself settle. Let your breathing slow, and let us begin. Before we can understand why we dream, we should first sit quietly with the question of what a dream actually is. A dream, at its most basic, is a series of thoughts, images, and sensations that occur in the mind during sleep. But that description barely scratches the surface, does it? Because when you are inside a dream, it does not feel like a mere series of images. It feels real. It feels urgent. It feels like life itself. You may have been chased through streets that shifted and changed around you. You may have flown over cities made of light. You may have spoken with someone who passed away years ago and woken up with tears on your face. Because for just a moment, they were there. Dreams have this extraordinary quality. They feel, while we are in them, entirely convincing. Our brain, that remarkable complex instrument resting within you right now, does not distinguish in the moment of dreaming between what is imagined and what is real. That alone is extraordinary when you think about it. Dreams do not happen randomly across all of sleep. They are connected to something scientists call the sleep cycle, a beautiful rhythmic pattern your brain moves through each night. When you first close your eyes and begin to drift, your brain enters what is called light sleep. Your thoughts become slower, less connected. You may notice that pleasant, floaty feeling, as though you are hovering between two worlds. Then you sink deeper into slow wave sleep, into the dark, restorative depths where your body works quietly to repair itself, to grow, to strengthen, and then something remarkable happens. Your brain begins to stir. Your eyes beneath their closed lids start to move, back and forth, quickly, quietly. You have entered what scientists call REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. And this is where most of your vivid dreaming happens. During REM sleep, your brain becomes almost as active as it is when you're awake. In fact, if you were to look at a brain scan during REM sleep, you might struggle to tell the difference from a waking brain. The visual cortex lights up. The emotional centers become deeply engaged. The storytelling parts of your mind begin to weave. Interestingly, during REM sleep, most of your muscles become temporarily paralyzed. Neurologists call this muscle atonia, and it is believed to be a protective mechanism, your body's way of making sure that you do not act out your dreams. Think about that for a moment. Your brain is so committed to the reality it is creating that your body instinctively knows it needs to be kept still. Long before neuroscience, long before laboratories and brain scans and sleep studies, human beings were dreaming, and they were wondering. The oldest written record of a dream dates back over 4,000 years to ancient Mesopotamia, to the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of humanity's earliest great stories. In it, the hero Gilgamesh receives guidance and prophecy through his dreams. His mother, a goddess, interprets them for him. Across the ancient world, dreams were considered messages from gods, from ancestors, from the universe itself. In ancient Egypt, dreams were so revered that there were priests, called masters of the secret things, whose sole purpose was to interpret them. Egyptians would sometimes sleep inside temples in a practice called incubation, deliberately seeking out sacred dreams in sacred places. The ancient Greeks believed that dreams were sent by the gods, arriving through one of two gates. Dreams of truth and prophecy pass through a gate made of horn. False dreams, the misleading, the fantastical, pass through a gate of polished ivory. There is something quite beautiful about that idea. The notion that even the ancients understood that not all dreams speak truth, that some are simply the mind at play. It was not until the late 19th and early 20th century that humanity began to approach dreams from a scientific rather than spiritual perspective. The name most associated with this shift is one you have almost certainly heard: Sigmund Freud. In 1899, Freud published a book called The Interpretation of Dreams. In it, he proposed something that was, at the time, quite radical. He suggested that dreams were not messages from gods, but messages from within ourselves. Specifically, from the unconscious mind, the vast, largely hidden part of our psyche that exists beneath our everyday awareness. Freud believed that during sleep, the mind's usual defenses were lowered, and that suppressed desires, fears, and memories would rise to the surface, disguised in the strange symbolic language of dreams. Not all of Freud's theories have stood the test of time, but his central insight, that dreams have meaning and that they connect in some way to our inner emotional life, remains deeply influential. His colleague, Carl Jung, took a different and equally fascinating direction. Where Freud focused on the personal unconscious, Jung spoke of something he called the collective unconscious, a shared, universal layer of the human psyche, populated by archetypes, recurring figures and symbols that appear in dreams and myths across all human cultures. The hero, the shadow, the great mother, the trickster. Jung believed that when these figures appeared in our dreams, they were not just personal symbols, they were echoes of something ancient, something human. Modern neuroscience has given us remarkable new windows into the dreaming brain. And yet, even with all our technology, the question of why we dream remains one of the most fascinating open questions in all of science. There are several compelling theories, each one offering a different piece of the puzzle. let us explore them together, gently, one by one. One of the most widely supported theories is that dreaming plays a vital role in memory, specifically in consolidating and organizing the memories we form during the day. Imagine that your brain is, during sleep, a quiet librarian, working through the night, taking the experiences and information of the day, and deciding what to keep, what to file away, what to release. Research has shown that people who sleep well after learning something new perform significantly better at recalling it later. And REM sleep in particular seems to be important for emotional and procedural memories. The things we feel and the things we learn to do. There is a beautiful theory that dreams are, in part, the experience of this memory processing, the mind's activity as it sorts and files and integrates. So when you dream of yesterday's conversation, or that strange blend of your childhood home and a place you visited last week, you may be watching your own memory at work. Closely related to memory consolidation is the idea that dreaming helps us process our emotions. The neuroscientist Matthew Walker, who has written extensively on the science of sleep, describes REM sleep as a form of overnight therapy. He suggests that during dreaming, the brain replays emotionally charged experiences, but in a neurochemical environment that is different from waking life. Specifically, during REM sleep, levels of a stress-related chemical called noradrenaline are significantly reduced. This may allow the brain to revisit difficult or painful memories in a calmer state, to examine them, process them, and slowly strip away some of their emotional charge. This might explain why, after a difficult experience, we often feel slightly better in the morning, not just because time has passed, but because our sleeping minds have been quietly at work. Another fascinating theory comes from a Finnish psychologist named Antti Revonsuo. He proposed what he called the threat simulation theory of dreaming. This theory suggests that one of the primary functions of dreaming, particularly nightmares, is to simulate threatening situations, to give the brain a safe space in which to rehearse danger, to practice responses, to sharpen instincts. Think of the most common dream theme across cultures: being chased, falling, being unable to run or scream or fight back, losing something precious, facing an unknown threat in the dark. These are not random. They are, this theory suggests, ancient simulations, evolutionary gifts, the mind running drills, keeping ancient survival instincts sharp, even in a world where physical dangers may be far removed from our daily lives. More recently, neuroscientists have connected dreaming to something called the default mode network, a network of brain regions that becomes particularly active when we are not focused on the outside world. The default mode network is also active when we daydream, when we imagine the future, when we think about other people, their minds, their feelings, when we create stories. Some researchers believe that dreaming is, in essence, the default mode network running freely, without the constraints of waking logic, external input, or the need to make practical sense. This may be why dreams so often feel like stories, rich, strange, emotionally resonant narratives, because your brain is literally a storytelling machine, and in sleep, with all the usual filters removed, it tells stories to itself. there is a particular kind of dream that has fascinated human beings for centuries. A dream in which, suddenly, softly, you become aware. You realize that you are dreaming. Not with alarm, not with a sudden jolt back to waking, but with a gentle, quiet recognition. The dream continues around you. The world of it still vivid, still present, but now, you are asleep, and you are watching. This is called a lucid dream. The word lucid simply means clear, and in a lucid dream, your awareness becomes clear within the dream. You retain your waking mind while remaining in the dreaming world. Many people experience lucid dreams spontaneously, at least once or twice in their lives. A dream feels strange, or you notice something impossible, and suddenly you think, wait, this is a dream. For others with practice, lucid dreaming can be cultivated. Researchers have identified techniques, reality checks performed during the day, keeping a dream journal, specific sleep schedule adjustments that can make lucid dreaming more likely. Scientifically, lucid dreaming has been verified in laboratory settings. Researchers have asked lucid dreamers to signal their awareness by moving their eyes in a pre-agreed pattern: left, right, left, right. A signal that can be detected during REM sleep, and the dreamers do. From within the dream, they wave. There is something rather moving about that image. A person lying still in a quiet room, their body asleep, and yet their mind, alert and aware, reaching across the threshold to say, I am here, I know. Lucid dreaming raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness, about what it means to be awake, about the relationship between the observer and the observed, between the dreamer and the dream, across cultures, across centuries, across continents. Certain dreams appear again and again in the human experience. Dreams so common that you have almost certainly had some version of them yourself. The sensation of falling, often from a great height, often suddenly, is one of the most universally reported dreams. It often occurs during the transition into sleep, in a kind of half-awake, half-asleep state, sometimes accompanied by a sudden jolt of the body, called a hypnic jerk, as though your body catches you on the edge of sleep. One theory suggests this is an evolutionary remnant, the sleeping brain misinterpreting the relaxation of muscles as a fall from a tree and triggering a reflex response. Our ancient ancestors, sleeping in the branches, needed exactly that reflex. Being pursued by something, often something vague and threatening, something you never quite see clearly, is among the most common dream experiences of all. The feeling of running but not moving fast enough, of turning corners that lead nowhere, of calling out but making no sound. Psychologists often connect chase dreams to avoidance in waking life, to anxiety, to things we are running from, not physically, but emotionally or mentally. The dream, ever the oblique storyteller, translates the internal into the external, makes the invisible visible. Strikingly common and almost universally described as deeply unsettling. The dream of losing one's teeth. Some researchers have connected this to anxiety about appearance, social judgment, or powerlessness. Others have noted that physical sensations during sleep, including jaw tension or dental discomfort, may trigger this particular dream narrative. And then, at the other end of the emotional spectrum, flying. soaring effortlessly above the world. The sensation of freedom, of weightlessness, of seeing everything from above with perfect, unobstructed clarity. Flying dreams are often among the most joyful experiences people report in their dreaming lives, and many who experience them say they wake feeling uplifted, as though something has been given to them in the night. Some researchers associate flying dreams with feelings of confidence, freedom, or a sense of rising above problems. Others simply say, some dreams are gifts, and perhaps we need not explain them away entirely. We have travelled quite far together tonight, through ancient Egypt and the words of Gilgamesh, through the theories of Freud and Jung, through the neuroscience of REM sleep and the mystery of the lucid mind. And yet, even after all of this, the dream remains in many ways a mystery. Science has brought us closer, has shown us the brain activity, the neurochemistry, the evolutionary logic. But there is something about the experience of dreaming, its vividness, its strangeness, its occasional piercing beauty, that still exceeds our explanations. Perhaps that is as it should be. Perhaps some part of us, that ancient, wondering part that looked at the night sky and imagined gods in the stars, needs the mystery, needs to know that there are still corners of existence that resist being fully mapped or fully explained. What we do know is this: every night as you close your eyes and surrender to sleep, something remarkable begins. Your brain, this extraordinary instrument, continues its quiet, ceaseless work, sorting, processing, healing, creating, and somewhere in the depths of that work, a dream begins. A world made entirely of you, of your memories and your fears and your hopes and your loves. A world that follows no rules but its own. A world that can show you things no waking eye could ever see. And tonight, you will dream again. So let yourself drift now. Let the day go. Let your thoughts soften and slow and grow light, like clouds dispersing on a clear, still evening. You are safe. You are resting. And the dreaming mind is already waiting for you. Good night.